My ex and I were together for 2 years. Everything will unravel in the most tragic way possible. I'm relieved to have escaped with my life, but the revelation I discovered and his reaction made it clear that our relationship was doomed. What did I find? I feel so foolish for getting myself into this situation. I think it's best if I rewind and start from the beginning. I first met Mark at a cozy little cafe tucked away on a quiet street. From the moment he walked up to my table, his effortless charm and confident smile caught my attention. Our conversation flowed so naturally, it felt like we'd known each other for years. He knew exactly what to say, touching on our shared interests and dreams with such precision that it felt almost magical. Mark seemed to understand everything I'd ever wanted in a man, making me feel like the most important person in the world. By the end of our first date, I was already daydreaming about a future with him, completely swept off my feet by his perfect blend of attractiveness and charm. Less than 2 months after that unforgettable date, Mark and I were inseparable. Our time together felt incredibly consistent, almost perfect. We didn't live together, but it felt like we did since we were always together. He was attentive and thoughtful, always surprised me with little gestures that made me feel special. We'd have the occasional disagreement, usually over something trivial, and I noticed that when he was in the wrong, his anger would flare up so intensely that I'd end up silent, unable to continue the conversation. He had a knack for turning things around on me, making me feel like I was the one at fault. Despite these moments, he always seemed to make up for it with something sweet, a bouquet of flowers, a surprise dinner, or a heartfelt note. One evening, as a gesture of his affection, Mark gifted me a beautiful necklace. I noticed it had initials engraved on it, but it didn't strike me as unusual at the time. Little did I know, this necklace would come to symbolize something much darker as time went on. Less than 6 months into our relationship, it felt like we were plummeting from the peak of what once seemed perfect. Mark's charm had faded, revealing a dark side that overshadowed everything we once had. He was always upset, rarely gifting me anything or taking me out anymore. He barely responded to my messages, leaving me to wonder what he might be doing since we don't live together. This abrupt change lasted for a week before my curiosity got the better of me. Determined to confront him, I went to his apartment. When I arrived and saw that his car wasn't there, my resolve only hardened. I found an extra key hidden under a flower pot and let myself in. As I searched through his apartment, my heart sank when I opened the closet and discovered a collection of a woman's clothes. Anger and heartbreak surged through me, each garment a painful reminder of the betrayal I was experiencing. My frustration began to shift into a deeper curiosity when I noticed a lockbox tucked away in the corner. As I tried to open it, a wave of fear washed over me. Every time a car drove by outside, I tensed up, worried it might be Mark coming back to catch me going through his things. Trembling, I managed to break the box open, and inside I found trophies, rings, IDs, and necklaces from other women. The horrifying reality of Mark's secret life hit me with a chilling clarity. Overwhelmed, I gathered myself and rushed out the apartment, my mind racing as I drove back home, trying to make sense of the nightmare I had just uncovered. After the shocking discovery, I texted Mark, breaking up with him. His response was unexpectedly negative, though he did accept the breakup. But my relief was short-lived. Shortly after, I saw Mark's car outside my house, and fear gripped me. I had left the apartment in such a rush that I realized I hadn't put everything back. Knowing he was aware of my discovery, I panicked, fearing he might be there to confront me, or worse. He knocked on the door calmly, attempting to talk through it, but my distrust of him was justified. When I refused to let him in, his demeanor changed dramatically. His calm knocks turned into furious banging as he demanded to be let inside. The situation escalated quickly. I locked myself in the bathroom and called the police. Just as I was making the call, I heard a crash. Mark had busted a window and broken in. He reached the bathroom door and began pounding on it with a violent rage. Terrified, I stayed hidden, praying the police will arrive in time. As the situation unfolded, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had narrowly escaped something far worse. I later learned that I was supposed to be his first victim, but something, maybe my instincts or pure luck, had prevented him from acting on his dark intentions until now. When the police finally arrived and arrested Mark, I was relieved, but the revelation that he was responsible for the disappearance of 5 women left me with the chilling realization of just how close I had come to being one of them. The relief of his arrest was tinged with a profound sadness and terror that would stay with me for a long time.